I wanted to share just the benefits of Manuka honey and how it's different from local honey. But first, let's talk about what types of honey that you guys produce here in
Sure. So
Zealand.
we're fortunate in New Zealand to have some beautiful honeys. Manuka and Kanuka are our main focus for export because they have those added special bioactives. But we also produce rewa rewa, clover, wildflower, lots of other New Zealand native floral honeys, which are beautiful tasting, but they don't have the bioactives that the Manuka and Kanuka have.
Right. And so how it's different from local honey is the fact that, like Julie had mentioned, the bioactives involved in it, which are the compounds that can really enhance your digestive health, your oral care, even topically too, speaking with, Kanuka, it can act as an anti-inflammatory. And so there's different potency levels from a UMF standpoint. So first of all, to be certified, like genuine, authentic Manuka honey needs to have a certification label. So it should have the UMF grade label, and then therefore that from your guys' test results, it can determine the 5, 10, 15, 20, which we're going to talk about. So tell us a little bit about the UMF.
So you're right. So the UMF, so all honey is tested for its methylglyoxal, which is a special marker in Manuka honey.
Which you guys might know as MGO.
MGO. That's right. So most honey labels will have, Manuka honey labels will have an MGO grading. Taking it to the UMF grading just takes it that next step up. So further tests are done to test for its freshness, its authenticity, and its potency. So that gives our 5, 10, 15, 20 plus grading. To have a UMF grading, it's also got to be packed in New Zealand.
Right.
So it's compliant. It's that way your consumer can feel safe that it's packed in New Zealand under New Zealand Manuka rules and requirements. So that's number one. Yep. And then the gradings, the potency, 5, 10, 15, 20, higher the number, the higher the level of antibacterial properties in that honey. Yeah.
And to achieve that's usually the density and where the hives are placed. The density of Manuka.
So meaning the density, so like the location wise of where you guys
Correct.
plop your hives, and then if there's a plethora of Manuka trees, then that is likely to achieve that higher UMF grading.
That's it.
Yeah, and weather and the environment play a big part, don't they, on the potency of that honey batch. Yeah.
Just continuing on a little bit with the UMF, so what does the 5 mean in relation to the 20? And when somebody is looking at, okay, what do I get from 5 to 20? My question is to ask you is, what are you looking for, right? Is some of your challenge dealing with digestive issues or maybe gastritis or acid reflux? I would say definitely go for the higher UMF grade, such as a 20. I know it helped me. And then kind of going down the line to a 15, maybe you want some more immune support, and maybe it's during that season.
Unsettled throat or cough, dry cough, it can definitely help with that.
Right. And then the 5 UMF is nice to kind of fold into just your culinary creations, as well as have these bioactives compounds that aren't necessarily found in local honey, but to just sort of like fold it in here and just sort of a maintenance to optimizing your journey of just health and well-being.
Part of your everyday well-being routine, health routine.
Yeah. Because how would you say it tastes, and maybe going up each grade too? How can you explain maybe the taste of it?
So Manuka has quite a mineral, earthy taste compared to your sweet floral varieties. So yeah, it is great. And the higher you go, the more minerally dense that taste comes through.
Right.
And also the texture, doesn't it? Like a higher grade UMF, like a 20 and beyond, is quite thixotropic. So it can almost have a more, I want to say, jelly-like or thicker consistency.
There's also the Kanuka honey that you guys have too. So we went through the 5, 10, and 15, and 20 even. And then there's the Kanuka honey, which is technically a cousin of Manuka, right?
It is. David, you want to explain about the tree?
Yeah. One tree's small, which is Manuka. It's more bushy and shorter. Kanuka is actually quite a large tree.
And this is the Manuka flowering.
Very similar looking at flowering time. But definitely a larger tree. Kanuka is probably more prevalent as a tree in nature, in the big valleys and that, and it's equally as hard to get it as far as the bees are concerned and climatic wise, but it just has a completely different active property to Manuka.